Hello and welcome to another Premier League review show on Football Talk Podcast. My name's Ozzy and I'm your host for today's show. Only one more match week remaining and it looks like the key finishes will be concluded on the last day of the season. Seems like it's going to the wire. Manchester City managed to get the crucial win over Tottenham. Arsenal maintained their pursuit for the title after their win over Manchester United. Liverpool doing Liverpool things after giving away a 3-1 lead to Aston Villa. Chelsea are climbing up the table and making a late charge for European football next season. So let's begin with the game of the week, and that was Tottenham versus Manchester City. As you can see, finished 2-0. This match was highly anticipated, not only for Spurs, Man City, or Arsenal fans. I think fans of the Premier League were intrigued and excited with the outcome of the game, especially with what was at stake. A Tottenham victory would have given their North London rivals Arsenal an advantage going into the last day of the season. Unfortunately, that's not how it panned out. The atmosphere at the stadium was a bit weird, as I don't think Spurs fans wanted to give their rival an upper hand and possibly help Arsenal win the league. So the noise around the stadium felt slightly half-hearted, and you can't blame them, to be fair. So let's discuss the key moments of the game. Foden almost gave City the lead from a volley. It was a great save by Vicario. Then moments later, Kevin De Bruyne smashes a long shot from outside the box. Another fantastic save by the Spurs goalkeeper. But then they were able to take the lead as De Bruyne hits a lovely low ball across the 6-yard box and Haaland scores from close range. Never in doubt for the striker there. But fair play to Spurs. They fought back and created a couple of chances. The first was through Kulusevski as he drives into the box and hits the side netting. Then the big chance of the game came to Heung-min Son, who was one-on-one with Ortega, who actually just came on as a sub for Ederson, and he produces a fantastic save. The keeper did very well to stay up on his feet and not dive in. Late in the game, Doku cuts infield from the left side and is fouled by Pedro Porro. For me, it's a soft penalty as Doku went down very easily, in my opinion. But a penalty is awarded and Haaland smashes it into the top corner. That's his 27th goal of the season in the Premier League. An amazing season for the striker. And back-to-back Golden Boot is pending. So that victory has put City a step closer to claiming their 4th title in a row, which is absolutely insane. And they will face West Ham at home this Sunday at the last day of the season. In regards to Spurs, people were questioning their integrity going into the game, which for me is absurd. These are professional football players, and you shouldn't really question them in that manner. In terms of the game and the performance of Tottenham, they tried their best, but City scored at the vital moments and got past the line. Spurs are currently 5th in the league and need to make sure they get a win or at least a draw this weekend. Otherwise, if Chelsea win, who are currently 6th in the league, could overtake them on the last day of the season, which would be a remarkable ending for the Blues. Next fixture, Fulham versus Man City. So this was the earlier fixture for City in match week 37. And quite frankly, it was a walk in the park. Gvardiol opens the scoreline with a fantastic run and a right foot finish, playing like a flying winger. Foden then makes it 2-0 with a right-footed strike that creeps into the bottom corner. Gvardiol makes it 3-0 after scoring from close range and scores his second of the day. Thank God I transferred him into my FPL team. And finally, Alvarez then makes it 4-0 after scoring from the penalty spot to give City the win. Next fixture, Manchester United versus Arsenal. Two teams with great history from previous years, but this fixture was all about the Gunners. Can they maintain their pursuit for the title and claim the win? Well, they certainly were successful in their mission. Not the most exciting of games for the neutrals. The winner came quite early in the game, around the 20th minute, as Ben White threads the through ball towards Havertz, who's attacking that right channel. He cuts back a pass towards Trossard, and then he manages to get that final touch and guide the ball into the back of the net. Great movement from the attacker, who's been a fantastic signing for the Gunners, and that goal could prove to be monumental to their season. Odegaard had a great chance outside of the box to make it 2-0, a great save by Onana. Garnacho almost ruined the party with his late effort, but he smashes it into the side netting. Onana was certainly kept busy in the second half as Arsenal produced a number of chances through Martinelli and Declan Rice in particular, but they were denied by Onana. Not the best of performances from the Gunners, but they got the win, and that's all that matters right now. Big game this Sunday as they face Everton at the Emirates. They just need to focus on getting a win, and what will be, will be. Let's see if they are crowned champions, but even if they're not, for me, they deserve a lot of praise because they've been so good this season. They've done really well to be in a title race and take City all the way. Now, in regards to Manchester United, the leaking roof at Old Trafford was a great analogy of the team and the club as a whole, because right now it's falling apart. But they had another game in match week 37 to take care, and that was against Newcastle United. So Manchester United just about squeezed the victory. Kobe Mainoo opens the scoreline for the Red Devils. Great play by Diallo on the right wing, but a controversial moment involving VAR as Amrabat blatantly fouls Gordon from behind in the box. No penalty given. Barchester United got lucky there, in my opinion. An obvious penalty for others, but Gordon equalizes later on, scoring from the 6-yard box. Amad Diallo then makes it 2-1 for United and scores his first Premier League goal, a special moment for the player and his family. I expect to see him in the lineup a lot more next season, and he looks like a player with huge potential. Højlund makes it 3-1 with a right-footed strike. Keeper should have done better, in my opinion. Lewis Hall then gets the late consolation goal with a lovely left-foot strike into the corner. Great technique and execution from the young player. Next fixture. It was all going well for Liverpool, but the game ended 3-3. And yeah, crazy end. But no surprise from a Liverpool fan's point of view, as there's been plenty of games this season where we've given away leads and haven't managed the game in a manner that should be done for a top side. But let's talk about the big moments of the game. First half, the game started very positively for Liverpool, as we surprisingly took the lead in the opening minute. Martinez makes a complete howler from Elliott's cross. Villa then equalised in the 12th minute. Watkins gets the best of Kwanzaa on the left-hand side, squares it to Tielemans, who places the ball into the bottom corner from outside of the box. Liverpool then make it 2-1, and it was almost a goal for Joe Gomez, but Martinez tips the ball away, but it's only as far as Gakpo, who scores from close range. Villa had a chance to make it 2-2 after Bailey fizzes in a low cross into the 6-yard box. Diego Carlos slides in, but completely misses the ball. Huge opportunity as Watkins was standing alongside him. I feel like he actually nudged him out the way to even get onto the end of that ball. Then moments later, Diaby, who was through on goal, 1-on-1 with Alisson. Unfortunately, his effort was blazed over the bar. Poor miss from the French winger, who actually had a decent game. Second half, it didn't take too long for Liverpool to score in the opening minutes. In fact, caught me by surprise when I was doing the watch along. Elliott with a fantastic whipped cross from the left-hand side. Jarrell Kwanzaa leaps in the air and produces a bullet header, posting in. What a finish from the defender, and that is his first goal for Liverpool, for another proud moment for the player and his family. VAR was involved in the game as there were quite a few offside decisions that needed to be made. I thought the one Liverpool had when Luis Diaz scored, it looked onside to me, but there wasn't any lines shown in the replay, and the game continued. Liverpool and Aston Villa made some wholesale changes to their lineups, but it was Villa's substitutions that made the impact. A mistake from McAllister, who gives the ball away, leads to John Duran on goal, and he smashes the ball from outside of the box. Great finish from the striker. Darwin Núñez actually hits the back of the net for Liverpool, but unfortunately he was ruled out for offside with his finish. But in bizarre fashion, Villa somehow find the equaliser. Moussa Diaby applies the half turn, drives with the ball, hits a through ball towards Duran, but somehow the ball hits his knee and goes past Alisson, who unfortunately was left flat-footed. Talk about fluky goal when you see it. But that's not the end. Villa almost got the winner during stoppage time as Diaby was through on goal. Similar position to his chance in the first half, but this time he hits the ball on target, and Alisson produces an unbelievable save to deny the attacker. That's the end of the game. I don't feel too downbeat in terms of the result, because I feel like the game itself didn't really have much value for Liverpool in terms of our overall finishing of the season. credit to Villa. I thought they were fantastic in the game. In fact, I think they were the better team and probably should have got the winner in the end. So Liverpool probably should count themselves lucky. But in terms of Liverpool, unfortunately, this is the tale of our season. There's been plenty of games where we've taken the lead and have failed to manage the game in a proper manner. When you're 3-1 up like it was in this game, it was important to bring more defensive-minded players on rather than making wholesale changes with attackers. So these are little details that differentiate yourself from being a side that's challenging for the title and being a team that's challenging for top four. And unfortunately, that is what it comes down to. So not the best result for Liverpool, especially in the manner that we drew, but it is what it is. Now, in terms of other games, in match week 37, Nottingham Forest lost to Chelsea, and Chelsea had a great match week 37 with 2 wins on the bounce. This was their first fixture. Mudryk opens the scoreline with a nicely placed finish from the left wing. Bolly then equalizes for Forest from a close range header. Lovely free kick from Gibbs White. And it was former Blue, Callum Hudson-Odoi, gives Forest the lead with a fantastic strike from the left side. Sterling then equalizes with a great finish from the left. Seems like all the goals are coming through the left wing in this game. And finally, the winner came through Action Jackson, who scores a header from the near post. The second fixture for Chelsea ended 2-1 to the Blues. They managed to claim a tightly contested win against the Seagulls. Cole Palmer opens the scoreline with a floating header. Great cross from the former Brighton player Cucurella. And Cuckoo then makes it 2-0. Great assist from Gusto on the right side. Reece James, who's just returned from injury, gets a straight red card after he lashes out on Pedro. For me, the right decision. You can't react like that and think you're going to get away with it, especially with the cameras and the VAR involved in this day and age. Brighton score in the 98th minute through Danny Welbeck, but unfortunately, it was too little, too late to overturn the result. The next fixture, Tottenham versus Burnley, which ended 2-1, and this was Spurs' earlier fixture in match week 37. The victory ended their losing streak as they lost 4 on the bounce, but also, unfortunately for Burnley, it confirmed their fate as they were not crowned, as they were given their sort of outcome as they have now been relegated to the Championship. Brun Larsen opened the scoreline for Burnley to give the Clarets the lead. Pedro Porro makes it 1-1 with a fantastic strike. A thunderbolt it was from the right back. Van der Ven then hits the nail on the coffin for Burnley as he scores a late winner. Now, commiserations to Burnley. For me, if they keep Kompany as manager next season, I think they will have a great chance to returning to the Premier League very soon in the near future. This experience will only help him with his development and also make the players stronger. Next fixture, Bournemouth versus Brentford. A bit of drama in the beginning as VAR ruled out 2 goals for Bournemouth and Solanke in particular. Brentford also on the receiving end of a decision that was being overturned from VAR as they thought they would want a penalty, but that decision was not given. But Brentford took the lead through Mbeumo, who smashes the ball into the goal. Solanke scores his 21st goal of the season with a looping header. But Wissa gives Brentford the lead and the win as he smashes a right-footed shot into the roof of the net. Great finish from the attacker who scored his 11th goal of the season. Next fixture, Everton versus Sheffield United, which ended 1-0. The Toffees managed to claim another home win, so they've been in good form in recent weeks. The winning goal came from Doucouré. Great play from Calvert-Lewin on the left channel. Doucouré applies the header from point blank range. That's goal number 101 that Sheffield United have conceded, which is quite embarrassing, to be fair. Next fixture, Newcastle versus Brighton. A point apiece at St. James's Park. An unlikely scorer for Brighton in Veltman, who opens the score sheet for the Seagulls from a set piece. Longstaff gets the equaliser for Newcastle. Great play from Gordon in the lead-up. Next fixture, Wolves versus Luton Town, which is a 3-1 to the Hammers. They finally got the win on the board, but it didn't take, or should I say, it didn't start very well for West Ham as Luton actually opened the scoreline. Great header from Lokonga. Ward-Prowse equalizes for West Ham with a clean finish from inside the box. Souček produces a lovely left-footed half-volley finish from the edge of the box to give West Ham the lead. And then it was George Urphy who scores his first goal for the Hammers to make it 3-1. Great play from Kudus, who was a live wire throughout the game. In the final fixture of match week 37, which ended Wolves 1, Crystal Palace 3, the Eagles continued their good form as they rack up another win. Elise unleashes another fantastic strike from outside of the box to give Palace the lead. Lovely finish from the winger. Mateta makes it 2-0, scoring from close range. Cunha gets a consolation goal through a fantastic strike that hits the top bins. And Eze gets himself on the score sheet as he goes around the keeper and applies the finish. So that's the end of our match week 37 review. And before we wrap up the show, it's only right we announce the FPL Manager of the Week. And that goes to Mustafa Kuram. And his team is called X1. So in terms of Roman numerals, that is 11. And he managed to attain 146 points. A fantastic score that has moved Kuram, or should I say Mustafa Kuram, up to 36 in the league. So well done to Mustafa. Now, in terms of my performance, I'm very disappointed with my game week because I forgot to change my captain and I also opted to do triple captain. So I was planning on changing my captain to Haaland. So if that had been done, I would have managed to have gained at least an extra 30 points. But because I totally forgot to make that edit, I ended up getting only an extra 2 points because my previous selected captain was Mohamed Salah. So, yes, very annoying match week for me. I managed to get 105 points, which on a normal match week sounds like a good score. But not in this week, as there was a lot of fixtures being played, and I've actually dropped to 56 in the league. So, yeah, disappointing end to my season, similar to like my team, Liverpool. But hey, we move on. Before we conclude the show, let's have a look at the table and see if there's any changes at the top. So let me share the screen for you guys. If you're listening right now, I will read out the names of the top 10 of our FPL. So in number 1, we've got a new leader right now. It's Tayo Aziz, and his team is the undefeated goal, and he managed to get 142 points this week. So that's why he's managed to leapfrog Jordan Smith, who's in second place. He's been number 1 for quite a number of weeks now. We've got Joseph Harrison, who remains in third. We've got Anas Patla Abubakar, who remains in fourth. Labini Saka stays in 5th position. Anish Dogra remains in 6th. Pipo Inzaghi has moved up to 7th. We've got Bamal Kun, who remains in 8th place. Handi Abda has moved to 9th, up into the top 10. I think that's the first time they have been in the top 10 from what I gather. And in 10th place is Kojak De La Cruz, and his team is Nighthawks in number 10. So that is the top 10 of our FPL. At the minute, it looks like Tayo Aziz, may get the win in the end. The points gap is 37 points there. So it's not impossible for Jordan Smith to attain it, but let's see how it ends. So just like the title race in real life, we don't have a winner as of yet. So we'll be going to the wire and we'll see who is our FPL champion at the end of the season. So that's a wrap up for today. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. In terms of the next Premier League review show, this will take place on Monday, the 20th of May. Time to be confirmed, so make sure you've hit the notification bell and also follow the podcast if you're listening on a streaming platform. In terms of upcoming content on the channel, we'll be doing a match preview of Liverpool versus Wolves tomorrow. Time to be confirmed. Then we'll do a live watch along of that game, Liverpool versus Wolves, with one eye on the other fixtures being played. That stream will begin at 3:45 UK time. Then we'll be up with a match reaction later in the evening. So a lot of content coming your way as we conclude the season. And that's the end of the show. So thank you to all for listening or watching. Have a great day. And I hope to speak to you all very, very soon. Goodbye.